Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Let's Talk is an uncensored program on Family TV that attempts to answer questions that are unanswered within our church settings. Questions like sex and money, drugs and alcoholism, prophecy and prophets in our country. So, catch us at 9 p.m. every Tuesday on Family TV as we explore different topics and make attempts to answer the different life topics. Every Tuesday with me, Emmanuel Odeke. Let's talk.
Program ensonga tukuletera okumanya biki ebigenda maaso mu ggwanga. Okumanya ebyenjigiriza n'ebyenkulaakulana ekyo nikyo kikulu. Twegatteko wano ku Church of Uganda Family TV buli wa mukaaga essaawa 11 ez'akawungeezi.
He must be rich, tall, handsome, from a respectable family. He must have a maid because at our home we do not work.
Conductor Masao.
Owari, obadde olobye ku ssimu?
Yamunange, anti yo TV enkolera.
Enjoy a new world of entertainment with over 80 TV and radio channels, plus movies from wherever you are. Download the Yo TV Channels app from your app store and enjoy 30 days of free streaming with MTN.
Yo TV Channels, the power is in your hands.
With 200 million people aged between 15 and 24, Africa has the youngest population in the world. This can either be an opportunity or a ticking time bomb. At Young and Flourishing Hub, we seek to turn these numbers into an opportunity for Africa to become a global leader. Join us every Monday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. only on Church of Uganda Family TV as we take you through the discussion of different topics that will enable you to become world-class leaders and mentors, grow your finances, and become world-class innovators. Young and Flourishing, transforming Africa.
Good evening, our dear viewers. I'm Doreen Buchanan, and this is Church of Uganda Family TV. I'm here to introduce to you Flourishing Hub. This is going to be a program centered around empowering young people to be the best versions of themselves and also offer solutions to the African continent that so many look at as the dark continent. But we do believe that the narrative can change and African youth can indeed become the change makers and make Africa great again. This show is focused around discussing people's experiences and how they shape our future reality, our present and future reality. With me, I have the CEO of Young and Flourishing Network, and his name is Mr. Sabiiti Herbert, the CEO of Young and Flourishing Foundation Limited. Yes, Mr. Herbert, tell us all about Young and Flourishing.
Thank you so much, Doreen, for hosting me tonight. Like Sheilla said, I'm Herbert Sabiiti, the CEO and founder of Young and Flourishing Foundation Limited. I want to first of all thank Church of Uganda Family TV for the partnership and for allowing us to air out the Flourishing Hub. I believe every young person, every parent out there is going to benefit. Young and Flourishing Foundation is an organization in Uganda that is set to mobilize, train, and position young people that will be a change in our communities. So we are here at Young and Flourishing Foundation cause an economic change, a socio-economic change in Africa. Young people out there, they have ability, they have the passion to change Africa, but they don't know how. So here we are, that we are going to help every young person out there to know what they can do and how they can do it in their communities and Africa at large. Thank you so much once again for hosting me, and I'm glad.
Thank you, Herbert. And right next to Herbert, we have Sheilla, Awori, and Kenneth. I wish you can say something, introduce yourself to the viewers, and we'll proceed.
Thank you, Doreen. My name is Sheilla Peruth Awori, evaluation surveyor at Ridgeline, Uganda, and also a pastor at Numa Ward Ministries. I'm very delighted to be in this place. Thank you. Yes, Kenneth.
Thank you, Doreen. My name is Kenneth Abindabyamu. I am a farmer. I am the CEO of Wasinja Dairy Farm, and thank you for inviting me.
Well, thank you. Today's discussion is going to be centered around our experiences, our past experiences, how they shape our present and future realities. So, without taking so much time, Kenneth, describe to us your past. How best can you describe your past?
Thank you, Doreen, once again. My past. I am the firstborn in a family of 6. My parents, mom and dad, are both living, and they stay in Kamwezi, Ruchiga, in the hills of Kigezi. That's where I was born and raised. I grew up in a community of our cousin brothers and cousin sisters, who I think have a big influence on me, because when I was young, I joined them. Some of them were older than me. I joined them to go grazing goats in the hills of Kigezi. And later on, at the age of 8, 9, I joined my parents to till the land. And so I'm not surprised that I'm now into farming, because I was raised as a young farmer.
Thank you, Kenneth. And as a personal friend to Kenneth, I know for a fact being a farmer is one of his strongest passions. And I have no doubt that he will break a record here in Uganda. Sheilla, tell us, how do you describe your past?
Oh, my past is a very interesting one. I grew up, and I am still part of a strictly nuclear family of just 3 children, father and mother, and I must say my parents have had a big influence on how I do things, because I can remember very well when we were growing up, every 31st of December, would sit with my mom, my dad, and we are laying out plans for the next year. So it doesn't surprise me that I grew up a good leader, because I learned to plan from a very early age. I also went to boarding schools quite early, so housework, I learned it from school, cleaning and laying the beds. If you visit me today, you'll find my place really neat. And let's also say that my parents introduced us to church quite early. I can't say that when I was young, I was already born again, or so to say, but we were going with my dad to Church of Uganda. He was a leader there. So quickly, by the age of like 8, we're already teaching our friends in Sunday school. So it's been a beautiful one. I have learned so many virtues, especially leadership.
Yes. Thank you, Sheilla. And we all know the importance of planning, especially if you want to make a big difference in this world. The world is moving very fast, and you have to adequately plan your next steps forward. Herbert, as the brains behind Young and Flourishing, how would you describe your past?
Maybe this one is a .com. I can imagine sitting with parents and planning. Very interesting. My friend Abindabyamu is a firstborn, so which means he is a deputy parent. I think he should tell us more about how he's managing as a deputy parent. My past here has been very good, but I thought it was very bad. I lost my mom when I was 9 years. So we were staying in Kampala. Later I joined my grandparents, maternal grandparents in the village, and from there life changed. Here you are used to waking up and take tea, bread, and go to play around, and you go to school. But the other side, wow, life was different. We reached there, and I reached there, and you wake up very early. You go to fetch water, maybe like those hills of Kabale. I come from Kabale. You go to fetch water, maybe like 3 kilometers or 4 kilometers. You come back. You go to the garden, the family garden, to dig. Then later in the evening, they give you your private garden, and to make sure that you, at the harvest, you sell your own personal crops that will be used to buy shoes and clothes. And I thought maybe because maybe I'm an orphan, that's why I'm doing this. But also my uncles and the aunties were doing the same. They were being given the same gardens, and my brothers and sisters were doing the same. So later I realized actually it was a sales training, and I honor my grandparents. My grandmom has already passed on, but I honor them for training me, especially to be hard work early enough, and also to know the purpose and the use of money. These days I normally see younger people out there. They go to supermarkets and they ask for everything, even what they don't need. And I say, this is the generation we are going to raise. So my past was really a training ground. And the parents who are viewing us tonight, I think you need to start training your children. You need to shape the children right now, rather than giving them everything at the civil plate. Thank you.
That's quite interesting, because then with such a difficult childhood, which I'm sure very many people experience, would you then say someone can have a chance of life, a good chance, a competitive advantage even in this very fast-moving world, yet they have had a difficult childhood?
Wow, thank you so much. Like I mentioned, my grandparents were priests in the Church of Uganda, and unfortunately they were serving a rich God, but they were poor. They didn't have money, and it beats me, serving a rich God when you are poor. Maybe there's something that needs to be done. Now, not having enough money, because every time we would go like going to school, you go with a cheat. Please allow a cheat. Please allow him. Otherwise, you'll be just out of school, not having enough money, but also digging. I thought it was a bad life, but there are people who have grown in the same life, and they have made lamenting, and they have unfortunately failed in life, because they say, my parents were poor, my parents didn't give me anything I wanted, so they have resigned life. And there are those that, like me, who grew up in the same environment and go back when I said no. That was a training. So it is an attitude, it's a mindset, and you can make it whether your parents were poor or not. It's you to determine your future, to determine your present. So like me, I decided that I hate poverty with all my heart and mind and soul. So I decided to work hard day and night. Sometimes my friend Kenneth knows it, that sometimes I don't sleep, especially if I know that I don't have money. I can't sleep. I have to look for solutions to get money in the right way. So I think there are also children who grew up in a very rich background, and they have made it in life. They have utilized the opportunities, and they have made it in life. And there are others who grew up in a rich background, but they couldn't take advantage of the opportunities around them, and most of them they have messed up the parents' resources, especially if the parents go and they sell all they have. So it's up to you. It's a mindset. It's up to you to determine what you can be, and that's why we are here to share ideas on how you can make it in life. Thank you, Doreen.
That's quite an interesting perspective, and I'm sure, Kenneth, you two had a poor background, right? So do you feel like you can ever conquer that past?
Thank you, Doreen. When you talk about the word poor, it's an understatement, because my parents are poor, and even the poor in the village call them poor. As in, we literally didn't have enough resources. We had limited food, even when they were hardworking. But you dig at the end of the day, you sell, you harvest, and 2-3 months down the road, you have no food. And so that one, I decided that I will not be as poor as my parents were or are. I decided that I will work hard. Whatever I lay my hands on, I'll work on it with intention to come out of that poverty I saw my parents go live in. And so whatever I do now, I purpose. I hate poverty. I don't like it. And I plan, I think, I consult here and there so that I have a better future than I had when we were growing up.
That's okay. And what would you then say to someone who is currently living in a poor situation, and maybe they're finding a challenge conquering it as well as you conquered, as well as you conquered yours?
I don't want to say that I am lucky, because I have intentionally done what I did to be who I am. I want to encourage someone out there who is struggling, who is in poverty, that it's not an end in itself. You can work, you can purpose to be better than who you are today.
Thank you, Kenneth. Wow. Sheilla, what do you think can be your turning point to just turn your life around and hopefully one day you can be our president?
Nice one, Doreen. I think what can be my turning point? I think it starts from, if you know about being a president, then I need a mentor. I need a mentor in that line of life. I even if I have been in leadership, we always, with a certain group of friends of mine, we always crack a joke and say that our president, we don't see his record of leadership in his previous schools, our current president here in Uganda, but yet he is what? He's a president. And we have so many that have been leaders, but have not necessarily become presidents.
He was a scripture union leader.
But you can see the line. At least wanted here like head boy or, something like that. But I think my turning point to get to that place is get a mentor in that line that can direct me. He has already gone into the waters. I don't need to walk the same waters. I can start from somewhere so that I quickly get there. So in my opinion, a mentor is a good one.
I mean, after all, getting a mentor it's an advantage to itself. Knowing that someone did it, you don't have to step into the unknown. You have the advantage of someone who has better experience in that area. But then now, in addition to in addition to what Sheilla has just shared, Herbert, what do you think why do you think God made you? Like, do you ever sit down and reflect, you're like, why am I in this path?
Yeah, Thank you so much. Wow. Great question. I think you are talking about my purpose, where I'm here on earth, and I'm lucky enough. I'm actually 42 years. It seems now I'm going ahead of my years. I'm 42 years, and I'm lucky enough that I realized my purpose, and my purpose is to empower, mentor every African youth to conquer Africa. That one I breathe it morning, afternoon, and evening. That's what I think about, and I can do that for 100 years for free. If I see someone, a youth out there flourishing, it's my happiness. It's my happiness. So my purpose here on earth is to see an African child, an African youth make it in life, become an influencer, go and change communities. We are tired of being called black continent, yet we are rich, we are bright, and so to me, I can do anything. I can give my life to, over there to make sure that an African youth can flourish. That's my purpose. Thank you.
When you're among the lucky few that discovered their purpose, like why God made them, I'm sure very many people struggle with that question. Every time many lay on their beds and ask themselves, what's my purpose? What am I meant to do? What is that one thing I'm passionate about? They find challenges. Is there any guideline or any advice you can help them navigate through that God created them for?
Oh yes. Actually, to know your purpose, I realized that it is it's the environment you are in, the environment you grow in, and it's not. Sometimes they say, I am passionate about this. I was born like this. I'm so what, but I realize actually it is the environment. For example, myself, when I was in the senior sixth vacation, I started to use programs that changed our community, and from there, even when I finished campus, the first work I did around central region of Uganda, here in Kampala, Mukono, up to Mityana, I visited schools, training, teaching the young people about career guidance and how they can make it in life. So I realized it was the environment I grew up in that made me realize my potential and my purpose, and that's why actually I got the passion to write this book, Young and Flourishing, because my purpose was found through the environment I grew up. Because being a pastor's child, at home, parents would welcome very many young people. We had Sunday school, and we interact with very many young people, would play around with young people. So I grew up liking young people, and I found myself having that passion to mentor and also work with young people.
So it's not, it's something you loved. Passion, it's something that comes within you, something you enjoy doing.
Yes.
Something you drive gratitude and happiness, and from it.
Yeah, sure. Like I said, I can work for 100 years for free.
Mm-hmm.
Today I was working, so I came here in the evening to talk about this, and I'm tired. I've been working from morning, but because it is about the youth, I can do it transnight. If Family TV can allow me to speak the whole night, I can do that, because that's what I love doing. So, but why I mentioned that it is the environment and what you are in. There are people who force themselves that this is my purpose. Yet later, when they go into when they get another purpose, they say, the other one was not my purpose. Please don't beat yourself, don't hate yourself. It is a discovery. That's why I said I'm lucky that I got to know my purpose and early enough. But you can actually even get to know your purpose at 40, at 50 years, to know why you are living. But it's also very important to discover the purpose at an early age. And that's why when you join the Young and Flourishing Network, we take you through purpose discovery, and you know why God created you on earth.
Interesting. You never know. Well, you never know, just with maybe a simple reflection on your life, on what you love in doing, on what you enjoy doing, can bring answers to that big question of purpose. Sheila, do you have any purpose? Any passion in any field?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Doreen. I definitely do. Like I said earlier, leadership. I like if I get someone who is a leader, whether you are in P1 and you are the class monitress, or you are the youth leader in a place.
Monitress, I didn't know that word.
And whatever, or you are just a leader on a farm, or just a business. I am definitely excited to sit and share ideas with you. Vision casting is something I love to do. But not only casting, and sitting down to also write how you can achieve that vision. So for me, talk about leadership, you're tickling myself. So I easily meet people and share ideas with them. I actually follow them up because I believe that if everybody can be a responsible leader, whether you're a child or a parent, then we can have better homes, better communities, because people are responsible. If you're a child at home and you have a mindset of a leader, then you're not going to sweep lousily. If you're the parent and you have a mindset of a leader, you're going to be intentional about how you live your life. Are you going to dress well? Because if you don't dress well, then your children are not dressing well. Are you going to have some Bible study time with your children? If you do not do it in your household, then the children are going to grow up thinking it's not necessary. How are you leading the children, whether it's in business? If you do not sit them to show them books of accounts, then they are not going to think it's necessary to come and share with mommy how I use my pocket money at school. Did I buy a book? Did I buy a ball? So talk about leadership. I am smiling all the way.
Thank you. So basically, with intentional leadership, you can bring about excellence in your life and your children and those around you. We are going to take a short break, and we'll be back with Kenneth taking us through why should people not be victims, others are conquerors. What differentiates that? What brings that about?
Mirinda. Grab yourself an ice cold bottle of Mirinda Orange at any shop or supermarket near you. Mirinda Orange, the taste that makes you go OMG.
Welcome to Coffee Production Tips, brought to you by Uganda Coffee Development Authority. Uganda Coffee Development Authority is the government agency mandated to promote and oversee the coffee industry as a whole by developing research, facilitating coffee production and productivity, by training farmers on good agricultural practices, controlling the quality and improving the marketing of coffee for the benefit of stakeholders, planting coffee seedlings, mulching, training coffee seedlings, and stamping coffee. Farmers are encouraged to adopt good agricultural practices to get high yields, good prices, and better income from coffee. These tips are brought to you by Uganda Coffee Development Authority.
Welcome to the UG Wave.
Remember, we bring you the latest fashion,
the inspiration movie trailers of all times.
Look at this, Boston Straw.
And new release in the gospel music fraternity.
TikTok moments and many others.
Join us here on Church of Uganda Family TV every Tuesday, 4 p.m. for the brightest entertainment with me, Miracle Ann
and Portable International.
Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives.
This is how we play. Play with power.
This is how we do it.
How we put a team together. This is how we pass on greatness. Because with this team to inspire us, there's nothing we can't do. Play to inspire.
With 200 million people aged between 15 and 24, Africa has the youngest population in the world. This can either be an opportunity or a ticking time bomb. At Young and Flourishing Hub, we seek to turn these numbers into an opportunity for Africa to become a global leader. Join us every Monday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. only on Church of Uganda Family TV as we take you through the discussion of different topics that will enable you to become world-class leaders and mentors, grow your finances, and become world-class innovators. Young and Flourishing, transforming Africa.
Welcome back from that short break. This is Flourishing Hub, and let's continue our discussion on the past, how it affects our present and future realities. Mr. Sabiiti wrote a quote in his book, Young and Flourishing, that says, there is nothing we can do about our past. Apart from learning from it, it is in our past that we had our foundations forged. There is nothing we can do about our past, apart from learning from it. It is in our past that our foundations are forged. So as we come back to this discussion, Kenneth, before we broke off, you were about to tell us about victims, conquerors, survivors. Where do you think you fall? Are you a victim or a survivor?
I am a conqueror.
A conqueror, yes.
Thank you, Doreen. I must acknowledge this, that I am not yet there. I'm still work in progress. But like I said earlier, my background was not the best at all. My parents struggled to take me to school, primary, secondary, and when I was supposed to join A-level, they couldn't afford. And so I had to divert and go to a primary teachers college, Chinda. Now I do my 2 years of teaching, and after that, I realized that, I shouldn't end it here. And so after after college, with 3 primary teachers college, I decided to go back to A-level. I forgot about the 2 years of teaching. By the way, I'm a grade 3 teacher. By now I should be in class teaching. But I decided to put that one aside and hit back at A-level. And after A-level, I joined the university. Okay, if I decided to be a victim,
please tell the viewers that you went to Kigen's College of Tovere.
The famous school. Yeah, after my college grade 3, I went to A-level, Kigen's College of Tovere, the famous school, a school I'm proud of. And so I made to the university, Makerere University. Now, if I had really looked back, I'm like, I am from a poor background. If I had decided to keep lamenting, things wouldn't have been the way they are today. But I decided to work on myself. I'm not stopping here.
Yeah.
I will hit the road again, go back to school, study, read, okay?
Yeah.
And so my decision, I think it's the best decision I've made so far, to go back to A level changed my life.
Is that where you met Sabiiti Herbert?
Oh yes, that's why I met Sabiiti Herbert. I found him in senior. He was in senior 6 when we joined senior 5.
Yeah, sure.
And so now we rub shoulders with them. But if I decided to stay in teaching, mark this, I don't despise teaching, because even when you're a teacher, you can make it.
Especially of science.
No sciences only. But even as a teacher, you can, as a grade 3 teacher, you can go to diploma, do a degree, and make it in life. Okay, we have big shots. We have the Minister of Education, Dr. Muyingo. Is a teacher. Okay, so even in teaching, you can make it. But for me, I decided to take it this route. After grade 3, hit back A level, and I didn't want to be a victim of my background.
Yeah.
I decided to shape my destiny.
Yeah. So our dear viewers, just know that whether you're in an underprivileged school, you can still be a big boy. You can still chill with the big boys. Yeah? Like, they are ministers. Look at, these guys have come from far, but here they are, empowering you and having a very big dream of changing that narrative of Africa is a dark continent and empowering young people to be the best versions of themselves and bring solutions to Africa. So and also the victim mindset reminds me of people who usually say, my father used to be rich. Right now they are broke. I know they are poor and they just keep lamenting. My father used to be rich, and then the government, it's always the government's fault. But anyway, so Sheilla, do you ever, what are some of your biggest problems, heartaches, setbacks, or fear in the present?
In the present. Wow, wonderful. I think I am too ambitious. Too ambitious, but also when I was growing up, where we had that kind of good background planning, our parents did not necessarily emphasize so much on financial literacy. So yes, we knew to plan, but when it comes to the real handling of the money, I didn't have a chance to do small gardens like Mr. Sabiiti here. So we grew up just doing school, you're excited, they provide pocket money and everything. I think in one or the other, it's a disadvantage. Yeah. So in the future right now, like Kenneth shared, I am being intentional. It's a challenge, but now I thank God for Sabiiti, who has brought the Young and Flourishing Network, because now I am able to read and actually not end in the problem. It's a challenge currently, but I'm also working on it. Yeah, so that has been balancing the finances, working with the norms, the financial norms that I have had so many great men in business and the rich out there talk about. It's been a big challenge, as I'm growing up in the present. Yeah, but I'm really grateful for this program because I am one of the beneficiaries already.
Don't worry, rubbing shoulders with us. They will teach you. They will teach you. Mr. Sabiiti, with this your big vision, what are some, how best do you feel you're going to help young people to give solutions to Africa? I mean, just imagine a continent that everyone looks at as the hopeless. It has resources, but for some reason people are impoverished. How do you intend to change that narrative? What do you intend to do to change that narrative?
Maybe also if I can go back to the setback and the fears I have, then I answer your question. Is that every time I talk to the young people, even the parents about this ambitious program of transforming Africa, they say that is
too big.
That's too big. You can't manage it. So there are people out there that can put you down if you are not determined. Recently, I had a discussion with a young man, and he said, "And are you not part of those programs that come and die? Are you not going to eat money from the public and it goes." So there is always such a kind of setbacks, and it affects your ambition if you are not careful. You know, I always mention everywhere I go that in my time before God calls me home, and I'm sure because I've been praying and He will do it, we shall have African Youth Development Bank, Youth Development Bank, that will help Africans businesses, especially the young people who start businesses. We shall help you and support you to make sure that you grow your business through that African Youth Development Bank. And it will be your bank. It will be a membership bank, and I know it is possible. So that is, I think I've answered you.
What a very good day to be alive.
I've answered you. We are going to change the narrative of Africa by helping incubating businesses and make sure that those businesses turn into international corporations. We are not going to be importing toothpicks. Why should we import toothpicks? We are going to have industries. We are going to be sending out exports. We are going to do value addition, and it is possible with you and me. So my narrative and ambitious program is to mobilize 50 million African youth to come into this network, and together, the 50 million, the world will hear us. And I'm not fighting the entire world, but I'm changing the narrative of Africa. Africa is a very rich continent with too much gold, with too much everything. We have very good weather, the land is so fertile, and I think when God sees us, he says, what kind of people are these really? Because He created us to have dominion over His creation, over the earth. So I believe, together with you guys and the viewers who can sign up to be part of this network, we are going to make it. African Youth Development Bank is coming. Thank you.
Hey, I'll give you my money.
Please bring.
I will give you my money, or just open the bank. But anyway, so Kenneth, he mentioned something that touched me. I mean, Africa is resourceful. It has resources. It has the gold. It has all these things. But for some reason, it has not helped us as its citizens. What would be your contribution to the young people out there on how to best prepare them to just give to help their continent?
Thank you, Doreen. This very year, 2022, I think on the 15th of February,
I was going to say Valentine's Day. No. Valentine's Day is 14.
Total Energies launched what they call final investment decision. I'm now talking about oil. Uganda is a rich country with oil. And many other products, okay? Talk about farming, the area where I am, okay? Talk about, different things, tourism. Uganda is a rich nation. But now, we want to challenge the youth that they should join the Flourishing Network, okay? So that we sharpen them how to tap into these opportunities around Uganda and even beyond. There are many youth who are down there. They are now playing matatu cards. They are taking marijuana. Some are just idle there. Okay, and now we want to invite these youth that we come together and we sharpen each other. Okay.
Kenneth, are you trying to say that the Young and Flourishing Network has ability to actually quickly enable some of these people doing like Total?
That's a different thing. But we are saying Total needs workers. They will need mention all different types of workers. They will accountants. They will need they will need
engineers.
Okay.
Do they need doctors?
Yes.
Actually, I think it's not only workers, they need suppliers.
Okay.
They need contractors.
They need contractors.
Yes.
Okay. But Ugandans ready to take up the opportunities. That's why we're saying that if we have the youth join us, okay, they may not necessarily be trained for total energies, okay, but they can be challenged, they can be trained to face the world, the future, in a better way than they would, other than spending their time playing cards, taking marijuana and other things.
Most of these youth have gone through a difficult past that has probably shaped their present reality. Some of them have probably given up on life, and that's how they end up playing matatu, marijuana. They have lost hope, you know. And I think some of them may even need counseling, some guidance, you know, just to remind them that, hey, you don't have to always be the victim. You can be a survivor. You can be a conqueror. Anything is possible. You know, as in someone from Chigesi Primary School can become a CEO of a multi-million company. So how best do you think you can help them in terms of preparing their mindsets to get out from a victim mindset to a survivor mindset? Because again, much as we can equip them with skill, but again, someone needs to feel it, someone needs to understand it, someone needs to be mentally prepared for that change. You know, maybe as a leader in Sheilla that I see, you can expound on that.
Thank you, Doreen. I think that is very, very important. We actually have so many college presidents, so many great entrepreneurs out there that have been bogged down by their past. Emotionally, especially. They grew up in families where they were seeing their parents fighting, and then they feel like life has come to an end. But I'm glad that today on the show right here, we have great examples. We have Mr. Sabiiti that has talked about his past. We also have Kenneth that have come from almost that kind of past. I think I want to advise the young people, it's important that you find someone to talk to. Find someone, it's important to find someone to talk to. Find someone to talk to, because until the CEO of Young and Flourishing Foundation has spoken, I'm sure so many people out there thought that he must have come from a silver plate. But here we are, you know, here we are. So he, amidst his challenges and many thoughts in his head, he did not just sit back. He kept watching, and I think his encouragement was seeing his aunties also doing the same work. So find someone to talk to. Let them guide you. You're not like these people. They probably did not have mentors. The Young and Flourishing Network itself has a big mentorship program, and it's free of charge. Free of charge as long as you're in the network. So come in and they'll be able to support you. We all have our challenges, our problems, but we cannot keep meditating about the problems. When we keep meditating about the problems, then we give problems to the world. If we want to change the world, then the mindset is important to change. So you need to start mixing up with people that you feel they're your role models. If Doreen, our host today, is your role model, then you need to find a way to meet Doreen. If it's Kenneth, find a way to meet them. They're going to be able to share with you things that will actually guide you. But also, apart from meeting, someone might out there might say, but when you meet those people, they are so up and above. I love the era in which we are. It's called the .com. It's a .com era. But there is a lot of data. Not all of it is good for your consumption, but there is some that is good. We have soft copy books. It's important to read. Young and Flourishing right here by Mr. Sabiiti, Herbert. It's important. Read that kind of book. It's going to open your eyes to life's matters. If it's internet, there are so many other writers, but tonight I want to talk about our very own. So it's important. Do some reading. Go to the internet. If it's a problem, go out. There is a lady who I honor very much, and one that I learned from, that is Dr. Maggie Chigozi. In one of the conventions where I met her, she said that you cannot complain to say you do not have information in this era, because you have Mr. Google. Go put in your challenge in there, and people are going to actually respond to you. So, and that is going, as you keep feeding on the right material, sooner or later, it might take 1 month, might take 2 or 3, or even a year. But by the time that year is done, you're going to be a totally different person, and you're going to be able to do what Mr. Sabiiti Herbert has done for us already.
Are you not going to encourage people to put in Google, how can I make money while sleeping?
I think I'm sure Google will entertain those questions.
And to give you a solution.
Yeah, but then she has just mentioned that you can always Google and get all this content and this material that can empower you. But also we need to remember that the internet can also be a source of false information. Very true, right? So Sabiiti, how can then someone sieve? How can they sieve right from wrong, right information from wrong information? How can you? Is there any guide? Are there any particular sources you wish them to look out for? Because that's also a current challenge. While you're pushing out good information, someone else is pushing out the opposite. So,
but before he comes in, Sheilla talks about mentorship. In Young and Flourishing, mentorship is a topic of its own that we shall tackle in future. She's just giving some highlights, but in future we shall talk about it deeply, how to connect the youth to mentors so that they are well nourished and taught how to face the world and face the realities of this world. What you have?
Yeah, thank you so much, Doreen. You have mentioned it. Actually, every second there is a lot of information, a lot on the internet, on WhatsApp, and if you are not careful, actually there is even a lot of good information. You cannot, not all doors that are open are for you to enter. You need to focus. There's nothing that can defeat focus. If you know you want to be a doctor, then read about medicine, about research in such a kind of area. Don't go into entertainment. I know some friends who they know every musician, they know every music that is coming out, every footballer or what.
If they're into the entertainment industry.
Yes, maybe if your passion is in entertainment and if your career is into that area, then focus on that. But if you don't focus, you will keep reading all the information and it will not help you. You have, like Kenneth used the word, you have to intentionally grow. Actually, one of our core values at Young and Flourishing Network is growth. You need to intentionally learn and grow every day. Know that today I'm going to learn a new thing, and you purpose that I will do that. For example, me every day I read about business, about finances, and about leadership. So that's all. I don't know about. I'm a football fan, but I don't know about the musicians. Don't talk about that now because we are doing badly. Yeah, but be focused, be intentional. If you want to be a graphic designer, then go and read about that. If you want to be a graphics, if you want to be an IT guy, go focus on that. Otherwise, there is a lot of good information. Now about bad information, that one, it's a lot, and it's up to you. Information, we are in the information age, can make you or break you.
Kenneth, you look like there's something itching you. Just in 1 minute. Just in 1 minute. Say it.
I just wanted to add on what Herbert said. I love money, finances, and leadership. And all the books that I have in my small library at home about leadership, money, finances. I don't read so much about, I can be honest that I support Man U, but I don't know any of the players.
No, you are not a football fan. Please stop deceiving viewers.
But I discovered that, if I'm to go about searching about, Arsenal, the players, the houses, the vehicles they drive, I will lose focus. Okay? And so with that, I think we need to be focused. We need to know what we want in life, okay? And that's what mentorship will be about, okay? Every youth, I mean, we don't share the same skills, the same knowledge, okay? And so young and flourishing will, look at a person and discover where their interest is. If you're in football, then we will encourage you to do football. Football is okay. If you're a musician, we will tell you to go into singing, to go into what. If you're whatever. We don't want to break you that you are a footballer. Now we break you into music, okay? We want you to remain focused in your line, okay? But concentrate.
Yeah. Thank you, Kenneth, for those tips. Sheila, any parting shots?
Yes, I want to
under 1 minute.
I want to tell all our viewers out there that success is not by luck. It's actually planned. It's worked for. So this show is already here for you. Help us to be successful.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Help us to be successful. Be intentional on it. Herbert, parting shots.
I think I should borrow her parting shots
It's already taken.
And say that also failure is not by luck. You can purpose to fail. You can purpose to fail, but here we are to help you and guide you. Every Tuesday we are always here to discuss and we help one another, and together I know Africa will be transformed. Remember, African Youth Development Bank is coming.
Yes, it's coming. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's also focus on the journey. Often at times we focus on when do I make the big bucks? When do I drive the big car? When do I make all these things? When do I become like the biggest from Chigezi? But let's always remember that everything is a process. And when you trust the process, there is a lot you can achieve. And also delight yourself in failure, because through failure you learn. The worst failure is not learning from your failure. So thank you so much for joining us today. Once again, this is Flourishing Hub on Church of Uganda Family TV. Thank you so much. Always tune in on Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m. and learn a thing or two from these such conversations. We shall be having different guests on our show, and we really hope that together we can make Africa great. God bless you.
Welcome to Coffee Production Tips,